In the bustling heart of Washington, D.C., where power and privilege dance their endless waltz, there exists a hidden world most people never see. It's a world of shadows, of forgotten faces, of humanity stripped bare and left vulnerable on cold city streets. The December wind cut like a razor that afternoon, whipping through the narrow alleyways between gleaming government buildings and upscale restaurants. People rushed by, their designer coats pulled tight, eyes fixed forward, carefully avoiding the broken figures huddled in doorways and street corners. Barron Trump walked alone, a young man whose name carried weight, but whose heart sought something beyond the expectations of his family's legacy. He moved differently that day, observant, almost restless, as if searching for something more than the carefully curated world he'd known. The restaurant was elegant, a place where power brokers and politicians broke bread, where conversations could change the course of nations. Soft classical music played in the background, crystal glasses clinked, and silver utensils danced across fine china. But something caught Barron's attention, a movement just outside the expansive windows. An elderly black man stood near the restaurant's entrance. His clothing was tattered, layers of worn fabric barely protecting him from the bitter cold. His shoes were more holes than leather, his hands trembling as he approached the maitre d', not with aggression, but with a heartbreaking desperation that spoke of countless rejected moments. "Please," the man said, his voice barely a whisper. "I haven't eaten in 2 days." The response was immediate and cruel. The maitre d' looked at him with a mixture of disgust and dismissal, speaking loud enough for nearby patrons to hear. "Sir, you cannot be here. This is a private establishment." Nearby diners shifted uncomfortably. Some looked away. Others whispered. A few rolled their eyes. But Barron Trump saw everything. In that moment, something shifted. The weight of privilege, the burden of unspoken judgment, the invisible walls that separate humanity, they all seemed to dissolve. Hey, story lovers! If you're enjoying this journey of compassion and unexpected kindness, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Real stories that touch the heart are coming your way. Barron's world had always been one of carefully constructed boundaries. Privilege wasn't just a circumstance, it was a lifestyle, a protective shield that separated him from the raw, unfiltered reality of street life. But today, something different stirred within him. He watched as the elderly man was physically pushed back from the restaurant entrance, his fragile body stumbling slightly. The maitre d' spoke with a voice dripping with condescension. "You cannot contaminate our establishment. Move along." Those words, that moment, something inside Barron shattered. Without hesitation, he stood up. His table was in the most prestigious corner of the restaurant, surrounded by Washington's elite. Heads turned as he walked, some with curiosity, others with quiet judgment. "Excuse me," Barron's voice cut through the ambient noise. "That gentleman will be my guest." The restaurant fell silent. The elderly man looked confused, years of societal rejection etched into the lines of his weathered face. Barron approached him, extending a hand not in charity, but in genuine human connection. "Would you join me for lunch, sir?" he asked, his tone soft but firm. The contrast was striking. A young man dressed in designer clothing, standing beside a homeless man whose clothes told stories of struggle and survival. The maitre d' looked apoplectic, his carefully maintained facade of exclusivity crumbling. I couldn't," the elderly man stammered. "You can," Barron responded. "Please." As they walked to the table, whispers erupted. Smartphones were subtly raised, cameras capturing what would become an unexpected moment of viral humanity. The elderly man's name was Samuel Thompson, 78 years old, a Vietnam veteran who had fallen through the cracks of a system that promised to care but often forgot. Their meal was more than food. It was a bridge between worlds, a moment of recognition that humanity transcends social boundaries. Are you moved by stories of unexpected kindness? Stories that remind us of our shared humanity? Subscribe now and join a community that believes in the power of compassion. As they sat at the table, Samuel's hands trembled slightly. Not from cold or hunger anymore, but from the weight of memories long suppressed. The warm restaurant, the soft cushioned chair, the hot meal before him, these were luxuries he had forgotten existed. Barron noticed the intricate tattoo peeking from Samuel's worn sleeve. A faded military insignia weathered by time but still visible. "You served," he said. It wasn't a question, but a statement of recognition. Samuel's eyes misted over. "Vietnam, 1968. 173rd Airborne Brigade." His voice carried the weight of 1,000 unspoken stories. I came home to a country that didn't want to remember us. Forgotten soldiers in a forgotten war. The restaurant around them seemed to fade. Other diners continued their conversations, but for Baron and Samuel, time stood still. Samuel spoke of a life interrupted. A promising young man drafted into a war that would change everything. He had been a student, first in his family to attend college, with dreams of becoming an architect. The war stripped those dreams away piece by painful piece. After I returned, Samuel explained, his voice barely above a whisper, things were never the same. The nightmares. The struggle to find work. The way people looked at us, like we were the problem, not the solution. Baron listened. Not with pity, but with genuine human connection. Each word Samuel spoke was a thread in a tapestry of survival, of resilience. Years of struggle had worn Samuel down. A failed marriage. Lost opportunities. A system that promised support but delivered bureaucratic indifference. He had been an architect of dreams once. Now he was an architect of survival, building his life one uncertain day at a time. I never thought, Samuel said, pausing to take a bite of the warm meal, that someone would see me. Really see me? The irony wasn't lost on Baron. His family name carried weight, power, expectation. Yet here he was, learning more about humanity from a man society had deemed invisible. As their conversation continued, the restaurant became a canvas of human emotion. Nearby diners, initially curious, now listened intently. Smartphones remained out, capturing moments of unexpected connection. A waitress approached, her previous dismissive attitude completely transformed. "Can I get you anything else?" she asked Samuel, her voice soft, respectful. Baron watched the subtle transformation. One act of kindness was creating ripples, changing perspectives in real time. "Tell me about your dreams," Baron asked. A simple question that carried profound weight. Samuel's eyes lit up. For the first time in years, someone was genuinely interested. Not in his past struggles, but in his future possibilities. He spoke of still wanting to design, of sketches he'd hidden away, of a passion for architecture that had never truly died, just been buried under years of survival. Midway through their conversation, Baron made a decision that would change everything. Hey, story lovers! If tales of unexpected hope and human connection move you, make sure to subscribe. Real stories of transformation are waiting to inspire you. The conversation stretched beyond hours, beyond mere words. It became a bridge between generations, between forgotten dreams and renewed hope. Baron listened, truly listened. As Samuel's life unfolded like a complex architectural blueprint, each moment a carefully constructed layer of human experience. He learned that Samuel had once designed remarkable structures before the war. Blueprints of community centers, schools, and affordable housing projects that represented more than just buildings. They were dreams of social transformation. But the war had stolen more than just years. It had stolen potential, momentum, a future. "I have something," Baron said quietly, pulling out a notebook from his bag. "Would you show me some of your designs?" Samuel's hands, weathered and trembling, slowly unfolded a worn sketchbook. Pages yellowed with time revealed intricate architectural drawings, precise lines, innovative community spaces, structures that spoke of hope and human connection. Each sketch was a testament to a dream never fully abandoned. Baron saw beyond the aged paper. He saw possibility. "These are remarkable," he said, his voice carrying genuine admiration. "Have you considered digitizing these?" The conversation took an unexpected turn. Baron understood technology, design, potential. Samuel possessed decades of architectural knowledge and unexecuted vision. Together, they began reimagining what could be. By the end of their meal, more than food had been shared. Dignity had been restored. Hope had been rekindled. But Baron wasn't finished. He understood that true compassion wasn't just a momentary gesture. It was systematic support, genuine investment in human potential. Through his family's connections and his own emerging network, Baron began making calls. Architectural firms, community development organizations, veterans support groups. Each conversation was a deliberate step towards creating an opportunity for Samuel. The restaurant staff, witnessing this extraordinary interaction, began to shift. The dismissive maitre d', who had earlier pushed Samuel away, now stood quietly, witnessing a transformation he couldn't comprehend. Social media began capturing fragments of their conversation. Snippets of their interaction spread, becoming a powerful narrative about seeing humanity beyond appearances. A local architectural firm, hearing about Samuel's story through Barron's network, offered something extraordinary, a consultancy position, not out of pity, but genuine recognition of Samuel's lifelong expertise. "I want to help you restore your portfolio," Barron told Samuel, "not as charity, but as a recognition of your talent." Tears welled in Samuel's eyes, not of sadness, but of profound, unexpected hope. The story wasn't just about a meal. It was about restoration, about recognizing the invisible contributions of those society frequently overlooks, about understanding that every human carries unrealized potential. As they prepared to leave the restaurant, Samuel's posture had changed. The weight of years of struggle seemed to lift. His eyes, once dulled by disappointment, now sparkled with renewed purpose. "Why?" Samuel asked Barron. "Why me?" Barron's response was simple yet profound. "Because every human deserves a chance. Because talent doesn't expire. Because your dreams matter." Their story became more than a personal encounter. It became a social statement, a reminder that compassion isn't about grand gestures, but about truly seeing each other. In the weeks that followed, Samuel began working with the architectural firm. His designs, once forgotten, now found new life. Community centers, rehabilitation spaces, veteran support facilities, his architectural vision was finally being realized. Attention, incredible story lovers. If narratives of hope, transformation, and unexpected kindness resonate with your soul, subscribe now. Real stories that prove humanity's incredible potential are waiting to inspire you. The ripple effect was immeasurable. Barron's single act of compassion had not just changed one life, but was beginning to transform an entire community's perspective about dignity, potential, and human worth. Samuel's story became a beacon, a testament that society's most valuable resources are often its most overlooked individuals. That potential doesn't have an expiration date. That compassion, when genuine, can rebuild entire futures. For Barron, it was more than a moment of kindness. It was a profound life lesson that true privilege isn't about what you have, but what you can do for others. And so, a chance encounter in a Washington, D.C. restaurant became a story of hope, a narrative that would inspire countless others to look beyond surfaces to see the extraordinary potential in every human story. The journey of Samuel and Barron had only just begun.